In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Luke Skywalker in his Hoth outfit from the Black Series 3 and 3/4 inch line. So this figure is kind of a slight repack of the TVC version of the Hoth Luke Skywalker. The only difference is that he's slight repaint, and then plus he's missing the scarf that goes over his face that the TVC figure has. I've thought about getting the TVC figure every now and then. I've been eyeing it for probably over a decade now at this point. And even though he's a fairly easy TVC figure to get a hold of, in fact, you can find the repack of him that is for like $10 still on eBay. But it's one of those ones that's like, I already have this one and it's a pretty good action figure. So I don't really see the need to go out and basically get the same thing again. And the only thing that's really added is just the scarf, then the photoreal face, but I think the painted face on this action figure is pretty good. So I think this particular Black Series repack of him is meant to be more based upon the scene where he's in the Wampa Cave. And the biggest indicator to that is, one, he doesn't have the scarf over his face, but he has all the cuts on his face as well. So if you do have a Hoth display, and I think there is a Hoth set as well where you can have Luke Skywalker hanging upside down like he's in the Wampa Cave, this would be a great contender for you. But I really like this action figure. I actually got this at a GameStop in Virginia back in 2016. I think it was August of 2016 if I recall correctly. And they had a whole bunch of these on clearance. So I only paid like $4 for this, which is not a bad deal at all. It's a pretty good action figure. I'm a fan of a lot of the Hoth related characters, so this is pretty nice. Head sculpt is pretty good. You can see he's got the goggles molded into his cap here. He does have the baklava, basically. I assume this is supposed to be a transmitter of some sorts. And of course he does have the scarf here draped over on the side. As far as the face sculpt goes, I think that's a pretty convincing Luke. A lot of times Hasbro does a nice job with Luke when he has a lot more of a helmet covering his head. When they just have to do the face, oftentimes it turns out pretty good. Like I said, you can see the cuts. Eyes are painted good, very neutral expression. As for the rest of his outfit, it looks like he's got a rank badge there, and then maybe like a communicator of some sorts. And then the rest of his outfit is the communicator on his wrist. Great combination of like browns and whites, or off-whites, and some grays. Belt has a lot of accessories, a lot of pouches. He does have a spare lightsaber. Then a holster for his blaster. And it's strapped around his leg there. And for his boots, they look pretty good. Definitely meant for extreme weather. As for his articulation, he does have a ball joint at the head, which has a great range of motion. If you took his hood off here, he would kind of have a giraffe neck. And it is possible to take that off. He does have a hinge at the shoulders and hinged elbows, which go about 90 degrees. There is a specific cut in the elbow there where if you move it a certain way, it kind of bulges out a little more. But still, about 90 degrees. And then he does have a swivel wrist and joint at the torso. Hinged hips, which was kind of a big deal. And he does have a little bit of a cut in his coat there to be able to accommodate for the hips. Then hinged knees and hinged ankles. terms of his accessories, it comes with the standard lightsaber that he uses in Empire Strikes Back, Anakin's lightsaber. Nothing really new about that, about the same exact one we've gotten with previous Anakins and previous Lukes over the years. Same with the unignited hilt, which fits on his belt very good. It can accommodate a lightsaber blade if you have a spare. And then he does have his blaster pistol that he uses in the film, which is the same exact one that's pretty much come with all the other Lukes over the years. I think this is pretty much Han Solo's blaster as well. It does fit securely in his holster. Doesn't look too bulky or out of place. And you can kind of get him to hold the lightsaber with two hands. His hands are kind of big. Yeah, you can get him to do that. That looks really good. And I suppose you can count the hood here as a separate accessory since you can't take that off. It does plug into his neck there, as you can see. And we'll do a quick comparison here with the Hoth Rebel Trooper from the Saga line. They do look pretty good together. At some point, I would like to do a video just dedicated to Hoth specific action figures I have. I think I have enough at this point where I can justify making its own separate video for. So hopefully at some point in the future. But anyways, would I recommend this Luke for your collection? I totally would. It's a great Luke, and I think even to this day, this one's still pretty affordable to get a hold of. Nothing but great things to say about it. Between this one and TVC figure, I suppose it comes down to your personal preference. The only difference between the two is the original TVC action figure, of course, is basically this with a scarf. Then you have this one minus the scarf accessory and then a slight repaint. And then you have the repack in the TVC line, which is the only thing that it really adds to that is the photoreal face. Which from what little I've seen of it so far, I don't think it's a significant upgrade. I've mentioned it so many times before that oftentimes Hasbro, when they go back and redo painted faces with the photoreal, sometimes it doesn't turn out that great or it's really not much of an improvement. I think it's the same case for that figure. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There will always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I just appreciate all your support. And check out some links in the description if you haven't done so already. As always, thanks for watching.